Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the mission battery base for a HomePod mini, and we're going to discuss if you can use this outside your normal Wi-Fi and when you're home. Say that you go to a party or a beach or a park where there is no Wi-Fi, can you use this as a portable speaker? Let's jump into the video. Alright, this is what you get. This is the battery base. It comes in white or black. At the very bottom you can remove that plate, and inside you'll find a USB-C to USB-C wire. This is where the Apple HomePod mini wire is actually going to be stored, so go ahead and remove this USB-C wire. One thing about this provided USB wire is that it's fairly cheap and it doesn't compare to the Apple HomePod mini wire, which is braided. This is just a cheap wire, which it's not a huge deal, but to me I think that it would have been nicer if they had a braided wire. On the back of the device you do have two USB-C plugs, one for power in and one for power out. The one to the right is for in, so that's where you're going to plug in the provided USB-C wire, and then on the other end of that provided wire you can plug into the white HomePod mini adapter, which I actually changed on a lot of my devices. I didn't like the white unless it was a white HomePod. Arky does make these 30-watt USB-C adapters that are black and smaller than the Apple adapter, so those are the ones that I've been using. Now, to fit the HomePod mini inside the battery base, all you need to do is make sure the wire is fitting in the back and pretty much just push it in and make sure it's even. It was really easy to do, and I was quite surprised how well it held it in there. Then the HomePod cable gets fed down to the bottom where you remove that bottom plate. You can then wrap it around the bottom base, and then that wire gets plugged into the back of the base in the out port. I do want to give you a heads up that that bottom base cover magnet is kind of strong, so make sure that nothing's in the way. Make sure the wire is out of the way and no fingers are there, cause it could definitely pinch something. But I was actually quite happy to see the strong magnet, because once it's in there you know it's not going to fall out. And talking about falling out, I was quite surprised how well the cup and the rubberized grip actually held on to the HomePod. I actually had to shake this really hard, and I don't see this falling out under normal conditions. Now this is all set up, they do say it takes about 3 hours to fully charge the battery, which I didn't actually test, but when it came to actual battery life, when you're playing the speaker, I did test. They do have a couple places in their advertising that says it's going to last 9 hours, and another place it said 5 hours. Who cares what the advertising say, because they're never correct anyways. So in my real life test, around 50%, I got about 6 hours. Now that's going to vary depending on the volume that you're actually playing at and how old the batteries are. On the front of the device you do have the on and off button and the 4 LED lights. They're going to indicate the battery life, but when you're actually charging this up, one of those lights will be flashing, which could be a little bit of annoyance. So what I came up with is just to use a little bit of black gaffer's tape. I can take it off and see the battery life, and it's not going to leave any residue behind. Now I did find that on and off button to be at a inconvenient place. I did hit it a few times, and as soon as you hit it, that HomePod mini will shut off. And if that happens, you have to turn it back on and wait 30-45 seconds for the HomePod mini to reboot. Now what I did find cool is that you can actually just keep this plugged in 100% of the time in the same location where you originally had the HomePod, and then when you want to use it, it's ready to rock and roll. You can just unplug it and take it with you. Now I did find, personally, I use this mostly when I went to the bathroom, when in the shower. I was able to put this right next to the shower, didn't have to worry about plugging in anywhere. Now I also bought one for my daughter, and she likes to take it out onto the driveway and she can play out there and use it as a portable speaker. And talking about portable speakers, yes, when you're around the house and you're moving around the, maybe in the backyard or on the deck, on the driveway, it's going to use your current Wi-Fi, home's Wi-Fi. But you can also take this as a portable speaker to, say, like a park or a beach or somewhere where there is no Wi-Fi or you don't have access to Wi-Fi, and it will connect to your phone over AirPlay 2. You still have to have Wi-Fi turned on your phone, but it connects over AirPlay 2. However, Apple works its magic, and it worked great.